Great, okay. Well, I think we'll run this from the top. The video link may have cut out during the broadcast today. I'm going to start things over just to make sure that we've got a full webinar recorded. We were about 10 minutes in, but we're just going to flip this over and start from the beginning. Welcome to the third self-healing webinar and meditation webinar broadcast by Kokoro Collective. Thank you very much for tuning in. The title of today's event is Finding Yourself. We're going to be using certain self-healing techniques to explore the mind, and we're going to essentially take a journey within ourselves, basically. We're going to focus on this sense of I within us, the sense of self, the entity who says I am, or who refers to itself as me. This is a slightly mysterious being, perhaps, because while it's very easy to look at a physical body and observe bone structure, physicality, all the tissues, we know that there's a spatial location, a structure that we can see in terms of the structure of the body. There is this phenomenon of consciousness, of course, on the inside, and it's much lighter and subtler than physical matter, or seems to be. And the great advantage of meditation practice, reflection practice, contemplation, is that they allow us to explore consciousness experientially and completely for free, with a basic degree of training. There's neuroscience, physical, technological investigation of what the mind is are obviously major scientific fields, but one doesn't need a training in those fields or technology to experience consciousness and learn about it. So we're going to take this journey within, and it's going to be a dreamlike state, and we're going to use a couple of exercises to investigate who we are, who this thinker is, and who this entity that we refer to as myself or ourselves is. We'll do this in trance, a sort of relaxation, dreamlike state. I'm going to post a written disclaimer regarding this. I normally give a double one. It'll be faster just to see the text. So that's written on in the comments section. Basically, it's today's training. It's just to refer to meditation practice, the effects on mental health, etc. Some advice. Please take a look at some point. You can have a read now, and then when you're ready, please let's go into these trance-like states that we've been accessing in recent weeks. And they are accessed by taking a comfortable position physically. Sitting is fine. My favourite is to lie down. It's basically, relieves us of the requirement to use any physical muscle tension to hold the body upright. If we're going into a dreamlike state, I think the last thing that we need is to try and be sort of focusing on sitting upright on a chair as well. Lying is good. There's no unnecessary muscle engagement at all, and that lets us just really transition awareness into, or our focus into the mind and into the mental level of the experience. And when the eyes close and the body starts to move towards a sleep-like state, but the mind that remains somewhat awake, we enter this kind of halfway dreamlike conditions, halfway between waking alertness and sleep. And the mind changes in beneficial ways. Generally, it relaxes more. And it's a physical change. We need a few minutes really to enter that trance-like state. So the best thing to do at the start of any meditation practice is just to sit or lie and close the eyes and let the mind start to just relax. There may be a slight feeling of the body being somewhat energized as this continues. And that happens because we're not spending our energy to focus on the external environment as much when the eyes are closed. So we basically reserve our energy on the inside. It means there's more life force, vitality, whatever we want to think of it as, available for healing. Body grows stronger. The mind may feel energized. As if awareness has increased. And that's a great thing if so, because today's focus is really about awareness. I want to experience awareness and start to study it, learn about what it actually is. So when you're ready, if you like, please consider awareness. We want to ask the question, what is awareness? And then just look for the answer, or search for it with feeling. We're connected, we are the mind, we're connected to the body, consciousness is what we are, so there's no separation really. It's an experiential discovery that we're making. We're looking for the answer directly. Another way to have the experience is to just think, I want to experience awareness. Try that if you like. Because this is your conscious mind, that we're experiencing. There's a field of awareness, there's consciousness, and then there is somewhere at its center ourselves, the I in me, the you in you, the sense of self. And that's who we want to take an interest in today. So try feeling your sense of self with your mind. Think I, as in you, or think me, my sense of self. your sense of self, the you within. And in the same way that if you wanted to look at a physical object in your environment, you would think about it and then you would direct your gaze to it. Try doing the same thing and almost looking with your mind. It's like looking within, searching within. You can also use feeling, the sense of touch. Try and feel or see where you are. Where am I? That's the question. You can also, to sort of strengthen the experience, make it easier, you can think the words I am. So when we think I am, we're sort of recognizing our own existence. We're having that conscious, active experience of self-awareness. And it's worth repeating. The more we practice something, the more the better we get at it. And with regards to this exercise, the main benefit is that it gets us a stronger sense of identity. Basically, we get in touch with ourselves, and we can feel that central sort of being within, who is the real us, and who's thinking, and who's creating ideas, and who's choosing how to live. And we'll try out a couple of techniques using this. The first is sort of like a continuation of what we've done. We're finding ourselves spatially. So you think me, as in you or your sense of self. And that begins this process basically of your focus being turned onto yourself. It's like an inner consideration. And if you just continue the process, just thinking about yourself, you'll start to travel into your own mind, and you'll start to experience it, and you'll actually start to heal it. this self-healing tendency of the mind that we discussed in previous weeks, this desire that consciousness really does seem to have to heal itself, is activated when we take time to spend in trance. But also if we focus on an area, it seems that we activate it and we start to heal it, and its functioning improves. And that's true with the ego as much as any physical body part. So just try three more minutes. We're just going to think of ourselves, tune into ourselves, and see if you feel changes happening, almost like there are layers of you dissolving, and you're starting to change. Something that can be practiced, in your own time. If you want to repeat the exercise, it's strange. And metaphor is the most useful thing with these practices, because we're sort of working with very, very light states. But it's like sifting through something. Basically, we examine it, and then we start to purify it in some way. So we're kind of clearing things, tidying something up. It's like examining a building and changing things about it, getting rid of what isn't necessary, etc. Well, all of those physical features would be like, the mind is the environment or the building, and the content that isn't necessary might be, established ideas that don't really serve us, emotional tensions that aren't necessary, these kinds of things. And they do just dissolve. It's kind of like melting ice, basically. If you just tune into yourself, you'll have an experience of yourself, and you'll start to clear what's unnecessary. And then just for a second technique to finish off, we'll do a few minutes briefly of these, and then I can leave them with you if you like, to play with. Of course, if we're finding the thinker within, then and identifying with it more, or realizing our existence as this conscious thinking being who does have creative freedom, we can start to consider what we might like to think about, and who we might like to be, and what we want to focus on. So let's, in the simplest form, we can just use qualities and tune into qualities of mind. So please choose some quality you'd like more of. Self-esteem would be a good one for today in some ways, because of course we found the self to a certain extent and we're working with the self. So one of the first things to do really is to start to hopefully generate an appreciation for ourselves, a healthy relationship with ourselves, to like ourselves. Anything else as well then, if you want: confidence, happiness, optimism. Choose whatever you like. And then just tune into it. Just focus on it instead of directing awareness to oneself. Think of the character trait instead. So you will probably notice it's very interesting to study the initiation of this kind of process, because there's an instant change. As soon as you place your awareness onto something new, you'll feel a shift. It's quite gentle, but mind changes and the body changes. So try and feel the quality of what you're focusing on, whatever this this trait is. Has the body changed physically? Is it actually generating a new personality characteristic, a new emotion? Perhaps that's happening. Perhaps it's noticeable. It's something to do with. In summary, we've had this, entering trance, basically relaxing the mind, and then exploring awareness. Experiencing what consciousness is, trying to sort of actually just experience the mind as a substance, as a phenomenon. Even that will start to heal it. because for several reasons. It's a self-healing system. It wants to be well. It wants to heal itself. So we just grant it time and space to do so through trance. And then we think of ourselves, we think me, or I on the inside, and we literally, there will be, if you practice this, there's a spatial movement of your energy. Your awareness will concentrate inside your body, and you'll feel where you are, quote, you are. And that will heal the ego, the conscious mind, the thinker, which is good news. It's one of the most important systems to bring online and heal in the early stages of meditation practice. The healthier the conscious mind is, the better the body will be. And then we can also look at generating qualities, thinking of personality traits that we want to experience. Just tune into them. As soon as you tune into them, you generate them. It's very, very significant, and you'll feel this vibrational quality change in the body, like there's a new state generated. You literally sort of build the personality in layers. So thank you so much for participating today. It was a nice, calm experience, quality to the group, I think. We'll have the recorded version of this up online on the Kokoro Collective Facebook page. Do tune in if you want to watch it again. Use it like an audio track, like a hypnotherapy track, which lets you just relax and let the guided meditation aspects of what we did help your mind travel into the states that we were talking about. They're all skills, these, and even 15 minutes a day is a very good idea for self-healing. So please be in touch. Any comments are very welcome. Any questions that you have about what we've done, we can have an online discussion in the aftermath. So I look forward to being in touch and speak soon.